Hey Star Trek fans, Dan Gunther here. As many of you know, I made a video last week about the new Star Trek Picard Season 2 trailer. The response to that video has been overwhelming. Thank you so much for everyone who has tuned in to watch that video, and welcome to the many new subscribers. Thank you for joining up here at Kertrats Productions. Now, in my rush to get that video out, there were a few things that I overlooked, and thanks to those of you in the comments, a lot of those issues have been sorted. For example, this flag, I did not initially know which flag this was, but thanks to many people in the comments and my own research afterwards, I found out, of course, that it is the flag of the Tellarite government, one of the founding members of the Federation. Similarly, we confirmed that the two people in this still were in fact Raffi and Elnor, thanks to their costumes that we see in a later scene in the trailer. Now, looking over the comments, I'm not sure if there's something else I overlooked. Okay. Message received. I did overlook the fact that 7 of 9 is wearing a wedding ring, or what appears to be a wedding band, in the scene where she wakes up in the unfamiliar bed without her Borg implants. So what does this mean? Well, we're pretty clear from the rest of the trailer that there is an element of alternate timelines taking place in this season of Picard. So we can probably safely assume that this is 7 waking up in an alternate timeline, unsure of where she is and not knowing why things around her have changed. And one of the many changes is, of course, this wedding band, as when we saw her at the end of Season 1 of Picard, she was not married and did not wear a ring on her left hand. So with all of that in mind, who could 7 possibly be married to in this alternate timeline? Well, I see 3 main contenders. First of all, it is possible that she is married to someone that we've never met before, a new character who will be introduced in this season of Picard. This is kind of the catch-all wild card option in that this could be anything the writers have come up with, and there's absolutely no way for those of us here not having yet seen the show to predict who that might be. The second contender is one that I am not that enthused about. We do know that towards the end of Star Trek Voyager's run, 7 of 9 began a romantic relationship with none other than the first officer of Voyager, Chikote. Now, don't run away. Don't click away from this video yet. Don't run screaming yet. I know there's a lot of people out there who are not a big fan of Chikote and 7's relationship. However, canonically speaking, Chikote is the only person that 7 of 9 has been married to. When was that, you might ask? Well, that is thanks to an alternate timeline that has been erased thanks to the events of the Voyager series finale Endgame. Before Admiral Janeway went back in time to change events, Chikote and 7 of 9 were married, thereby making Chikote the only canon spouse of 7 up to this point in the Star Trek universe. So, with that said, will we see Chikote in Season 2 of Picard? My guess is no. I don't think they will go this route. I think they will go a different route. Which brings us to the next possibility. 7 of 9 could in fact be married to Raffi Musiker. As we saw at the end of Season 1 in Star Trek Picard, the two characters shared a tender moment, and we do know that this is possibly a relationship that the writers are wanting to explore in Season 2. Shifting over to an alternate timeline could allow us to see the result of a prolonged relationship between 7 and Raffi, namely the two of them being married. This, in my books, is the most likely scenario. As I mentioned, the people behind the scenes have talked about wanting to develop this relationship. I, for one, would really welcome seeing Raffi and 7 in a relationship of some sort, and then, of course, in this alternate timeline, possibly being married, could introduce a lot of interesting elements for the two characters when they return to the original timeline, which will presumably be the end result of Season 2. Now, I suppose there is a fourth possibility in that 7 of 9 is married to another character that we have met before, but not either Raffi or Chikote. This is possible. It is an alternate timeline and anything could go. They could pair her up with just about anybody we've seen before, or as I said earlier, anybody we haven't seen before. The possibilities truly are endless in this case. However, for my money, I bet that 7 is married to Raffi in this alternate timeline. But I want to hear from all of you. What do you think? Do you have any predictions as to whom 7 of 9 might be married to in this alternate reality? I suppose I should get used to maybe calling her Annika Hansen, because because possibly she was never assimilated by the Borg in this alternate timeline, hence the lack of Borg implants, and therefore never got the moniker 7 of 9. But we'll of course have to wait until 2022 to have these questions definitively answered when we finally get Season 2 of Star Trek Picard. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks of course to the Patreon supporters for helping bring this video to you. I could not do it without you. Thank you so much for your help. To everyone else, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Until then, as always, live long and prosper.